Hey all, welcome back to another patch review. 6.5 went live last week, and with it brought a close to the current MSQ and Alliance raid story arcs in preparation for Dawn Trail's setup in 6.55. As per usual, we're just going to start with some brief spoiler-free thoughts, and then I'll give my full opinions in the clearly defined spoiler section. Alright, let's get into it. Growing Light's MSQ content further continued the trend of the writing team just generally being really good at what they do. A combination of well-earned character payoff and an inspired reimagining of Final Fantasy IV's final encounter and generally just the final section joined together for an incredibly rewarding storytelling experience. This patch also boasts a very impressively choreographed fight scene. It's like all animated and people are jumping around and it's really cool, but I can't show it to you here because it's really spoilery. But it's cool. You could trust me on that one. Very enjoyable. I hope they do more of that going forward. The Alliance raid also came to a close with a well-executed, heartwarming, and slightly bittersweet conclusion. While not quite so narratively impressive as the MSQ, the writing team still managed to craft a satisfying story that not only further explores the game's lore, but also gives a new level of depth to a set of characters that honestly weren't more than set dressing before this raid happened. In terms of the playable content, all three of the new duties are great additions. The new trial especially stands out as just being super well designed and a ton of fun to play. The dungeon, while not extremely difficult, uses an interesting form of playable exposition to further flesh out the current main antagonist's past while not having to rely on the tried and true method of just throw you into an echo. The new raid Thalea continues Myths of the Realm's trend of having just the most stunning visuals while also giving its bosses a bevy of new attacks and weird and interesting mechanics. At least two of these guys introduce like a new marker I've never seen before, and both make for like a super engaging encounter and are honestly a little bit challenging. The final boss of Thalia is another composite boss similar to Eden's Promise, mechanically speaking. I don't really have an issue with this style of encounter. It's all actually really cool and is a great way to show off every single one of the previous fight's mechanics. I just personally have trouble remembering what all the different moves are from, raids I haven't done in several months. That's not really a criticism of the content and more of just kind of like a self-report. It's good. The grade's good this time around. I really enjoyed it. Now, the real star of the show this patch for sure had to be the trial boss. I can't really go into who or what it is, just know that it's like a piece of boss design brilliance. They combined these super easy to read mechanics that are iterations on stuff we've already seen with a really high rate of attack. So a lot of them are happening all at once, and it creates this super overwhelming yet satisfying feeling as you're able to maneuver tons of different mechanics happening very quickly. It's great. It's a lot of fun to sight read. I really hope this sets a standard for encounter design going forward. With how far into the game we are, I kind of would like the general difficulty of this kind of content to go up. Not a whole lot, but enough to just kind of feel like we have entered, a harder section of the game. All right, this is the point. From here on out, we're going to be switching into spoiler territory. So if you are heading out to avoid those, don't forget to bookmark the video. I'd like to hear what others thought of this patch, and I'd really like to make sure that everyone's voice gets heard, especially you person, hello, that is heading out right now because of spoilers. Once you're all caught up, I'd love for you to come back and give your opinion in the comments. Maybe we can start another discussion. It'd be great. Okay. Ready? Let's go. Look, I know I say this with every patch review, but I don't know how they just keep doing it. The MSQ was incredible. We got everything I could have asked for. Satisfying conclusion, Golbez's origins, and just the coolest payoff to Zero's character arc. It's great. It's all great. I really appreciated what they did to make Golbez sympathetic to a degree, but it was different to how they did it with the Asians. While we understand Golbez's perspective and what drove him, the writers don't try and win us to his side. What he did was objectively wrong, regardless of his intentions. It's it's not the same as they try to make Emmett and Elidibus. They want us to feel sad a little bit when we win. But with Golbez, it's not... He's just bad, but not in an irredeemable way. They try and give him redemption, but it's not like he gets it. He's not redeemed by the end of the arc. He's just been given a chance to start over. Because it'd be super easy to just make him stubborn, which forces a fight, which means we kill him and then he's just gone. But they decided to, like, give him a chance to start working towards being good again. And, you know, while we're discussing character change, they gave Zero the full Cecil treatment, and it was so cool. Like, you know, the second the scythe broke, I'm like, oh, here it comes. Paladin time. And then it did. And it was cool. And it's like this connection between the expansion's main job, but it's also like, you know, it demonstrates a visual, like, representation of her willingness to trust other people. Because, you know, Paladin's all about protecting others. You've got the skill that takes a blow for someone else. It's good. It's great symbolism and connection. It's cool. I like it. And while on the topic of the finale, I thought the final showdown was, like, super anime, but, you know, I'm like a sucker for that kind of stuff, so I had, like, no problems with it. It was like the power of friendship, but, like, done well, as opposed to just being some, like, annoying ass pull. Oh, and before I forget, the sections on the first were super cool. Green and Zero had, like, a surprisingly good dynamic going on, and, you know, I really think they both helped each other grow. This expansion kind of sets up what I hope will inevitably be like a first and or 13th restoration story arcs, maybe in some later expansion. You know, something about like exploring the reformed world or helping rebuild it. It would be cool. It definitely won't happen in the next expansion, maybe like in the post-expansion patches or something, but it might be, you know, I'm excited for the future. It's looking good. Oh, and also, Guy is part of the MSQ now. So Square said that the lesbians are in, that's nice, good for them. Moving into playable content, the patch dungeon was really cool. I liked the way that they switched into this flashback section midway through. It wasn't anything that I would have expected to happen, but it was kind of effective in delivering what they were hoping to do. The boss mechanics were also pretty cool, even if that ant lion is kind of annoying. Screw that guy, he's annoying. But the Durante fight was cool. It felt like a proper showdown against some fallen hero, but like it kept the difficulty pretty reasonable. I'll admit I did die fighting against him, but it was mostly just me getting really greedy and trying to hit him with Limit Break right at the end. And then, like I mentioned earlier, but like the trial, man, that was so cool. I like, if this is what we can expect from like normal trials going forward, I'm super excited. Like that overwhelming and very intense rush of so many things happening, but at the same time at a pace that you can process it all. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. I also really liked when she hits you with the Jujutsu Kaisen domain expansion and traps you in a black hole dimension. That's pretty cool. It's fun. A+ boss design. I like that a lot. Switching over to Myths of the Realm, I was kind of worried going into it that they would fumble the ending, kind of like what happened with Pandemonium, but they didn't, and it was really solid, and I liked that. While the Oshun twist wasn't that surprising, seeing as I was side-eyeing Derek since he was introduced in the story, you know, I kind of feel like that was intentional. They went so far out of their way to make us see right through this guy. It's like honestly kind of comical how easy it was. And if you kind of take his role as the Wanderer into account, he's going around seeing all these people, as well as the desire of the 12 to show their love to these people, it kind of makes sense that he'd be putting on this not-so-subtle disguise. It's honestly kind of endearing in how, like, awkwardly ineffective it is, or at least how suspicious it is. You know, it's not malicious. He's just, you know, trying to get the job done, but, I don't know. It's kind of adorable in the most respectful way possible. In terms of Thalia itself, I really enjoyed all the encounters with the 12 this time around. Oshun's weird, like, arrow move the AoE mechanic was, like, super cool. It was kind of weird how, like, the AoE would, like, swivel, but it was, you know, it was fun. It was easy to read, but it was also just, like, really cool visually. Now, what I would never have guessed or predicted in a million of years was all the gods going Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on themselves and turning into Eulogia. Like what? I mean, I'm a fan of the design, at least from the standpoint of all their designs being merged into a single entity. However, I will also point out that it is way too crowded. It's like an inevitable drawback of taking 12 different designs and then smashing it into a single character. So there's that. That's definitely going to make it hit or miss. I do think that this kind of excessive, gaudy look does kind of lend to that like Super Sentai feel. Like the golden Dalamud head in the middle kind of reminds me of a Megazord. You know, it's could just be me, but it's like, it's kind of goofy, but like in a good way. Now what I think would be really cool is if Derek just starts showing up in zones kind of similar to Alpha and the OMG, just in the, you know, sometimes you load into a zone and they're just hanging out and they're doing something. It'd be cool if he has a chance to spawn in a zone too and you can just kind of talk to him, get his opinion on where you are, or maybe even alludes to some adventure he's on. I think it would help to kind of further enhance the world and add another one of those random encounters that you might just kind of stumble upon. Who knows? Maybe he's actually already in the game and I just haven't seen him yet, but I just think that'd be neat. And with that said, we've reached the end of my piece on patch 6.5. All that's left now is to wait for 6.55 early next year and Dawn Trail after that. This time around in this video, I kind of did something weird and different. I decided maybe I'd try doing more of a guided stream of consciousness if, you know, this sounds a little bit less structured than my other stuff. I just thought I might shake it up and try this out. Maybe it'll be a new way for me to do the patch videos. But, yeah, just let me know if you thought this was better than the other ones, or maybe not quite so good. Like, don't do that. That's really cringe. What the hell do you think you're doing? Who knows? I don't know. It was an experiment. But now I'm rambling. What I do want to know, though, is what you thought of the patch. Did you like it as much as I did? Because I kind of gave it a glowing review, so maybe you didn't think it was just that great, or maybe you didn't think it was good at all. I'd like to hear it. Put it in the comments. Let's start another discussion. Get that discussion train going. I liked how the AI video had a little bit more, you know, back and forth in the comments. I thought that was cool. For the couple of you guys that are waiting for the Dragon Quest Monsters video, it's on its way. I know it was supposed to be out 2 months ago, but like, you know, life happened. But it's close. I'm really close. I'm not going to give like a release date or an estimate because I don't want to miss another deadline. But it is close. It's almost done, I promise. Oh, and like for the one EU viewer I have, hello EU viewer, or I guess technically UK isn't part of the EU, so the one EU and the one UK viewers, hello viewers. I'm going to be at FanFest. Don't try to find me, because I will be in stealth mode. And also, my guy is just this dude. You don't know anything about me, but I'll be there. So maybe afterwards I'll do like a I went to FanFest. This is what happened. I don't know. It'll be fun. Look, I'm rambling again. I'm just gonna close it out. I gotta go. You gotta go. We all gotta go. Thanks as always for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you really want to stay up to date with what I'm up to, you might as well just hit that subscribe button too. And also ring the bell so you can, you know, get a nice little email or a notification when the next video comes out. And I'm also, like, not trusting of the algorithms, so if you enjoyed this, or if you enjoy any of my other content, consider sharing with a friend. It's a lot more effective than hoping that some robot puts my video in their feed. So, that could be cool. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again real soon.